Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Rinker Playhouse. Please take a moment to silence cell phones and all electronic devices. Flash photography or recording of any kind is strictly prohibited. Thank you.
A great man inquired in 1971 what's going on and whether Vietnam, Kim Jong-un, ISIS, Charlottesville, Parkland, or Assad. The question remains because things ain't changing. Picket lines and picket signs, police brutality beating down on these citizens. We in the land of the brave and the free, but still oppressed by the powers that be. What's going on? How we gonna make America great again by dividing and ostracizing? It's them same old hoods and southern strategies, only now they carrying tikis and sipping tea. But you can never build a wall so tall that it protects you from yourself. Erect towers, exert power, and plow into earth for pipelines, threatening the lives of natives, disrupting the sacred. What's going on? Men, women, and children shot dead in school buildings. Innocent civilians are made to know all too well a living hell. And while foes settle scores, lives are destroyed in these wars, using people as pawns, recklessly dropping bombs. What's going on? Bigots and bullies. Criminals turned congressmen, bullets body brown skin because melanin has always been the target. Women's personal spaces are violated because power, well, now that's the new narcotic. We are real life heartless. What's going on? Enmity, carried on wings like Zika, infecting the people. Injections of lethal resistance is futile. It feels like, my God, we are losing. What's going on?
My name is Brian Stevenson, and I'm a lawyer, an advocate, and an activist for ending mass incarceration and creating racial justice in America. Racial justice in America. Creating racial justice in America.
I've been trying to say something about our criminal justice system.
Whenever you're talking about a violation of basic human rights, a violation of basic human dignity, your first requirement is to make sure people see the humanity of the people who are experiencing these injuries. In this country, we don't talk about slavery, we don't talk about lynching, we don't talk about segregation, and we don't want to talk about racial bias in our criminal justice system. If we're serious about correcting the imbalance created by decades of inequality and injustice, we have to do more than just be silent.
I've been trying to say something about criminal justice system. Say something about criminal justice. I've been. This country is very different today than it was 40 years ago. In 1972, there were 300,000 people in jails and prisons. Today, there are 2.3 million. The United States now has the highest rate of incarceration in the world. We have 7 million people on probation and parole, and mass incarceration has fundamentally changed our world. In poor communities and communities of color, there is this despair, there is this hopelessness that is being shaped by these outcomes. 1 out of 3 black men between the ages of 18 and 30 is in jail, in prison, on probation, or parole. 1 out of 3 black prison, probation, parole. I've been trying to say something about our criminal justice system. Our system isn't just being shaped in these ways that seem to be distorting around race, they're also distorted by poverty. We have a system of justice in this country that treats you much better if you're rich and guilty than if you're poor and innocent. The opposite of poverty is not wealth. The opposite of poverty is justice. I've been trying to say something about our criminal justice system. The United States is the only country in the world where we sentence 13-year-old children. The United States is the only country in the world, 13-year-old children. The United States is the only country in the world where we sentence 13-year-old children to die in prison. We have life imprisonment without parole for kids in this country. Only country in the world. We love innovation. We love technology, we love creativity, we love entertainment. But ultimately, those realities are shadowed by suffering, abuse, degradation, marginalization. And for me, it becomes necessary to integrate the two. Because ultimately, we are talking about the need to be more hopeful, more committed, more dedicated to the basic challenges of living in a complex world. To me, that means spending time thinking and talking about the poor, the disadvantaged. I've come to understand and to believe that each of us is more than the worst thing we've ever done.
I think the character of any society, its commitment to justice, its commitment to the rule of law, has to be evaluated not by looking at how it treats the rich and the powerful and the privileged, but by looking at how it treats the poor, the incarcerated, the disfavored, people living in the margins of society. Our response to them, our relationship to them, reveals our true character. I think there's something better waiting for people in this country than what we've experienced. There's something more genuinely free, more genuinely equal, more genuinely just than what we've experienced in this country. And if we desire it and we struggle for it, we can achieve it.
The police officer who fatally shot an unarmed African-American man.
palms calloused from ungloved hands that carry blocks of sun-dried mass, we lay bricks that form walls that make us feel safe and separate and better and insulated from the undesired and unwelcome to keep out and hold in. We make math of this masonry, call it long division. The quotient is the isms of race, class, and gender with the remainder of hierarchy and privilege. Yes, we draw lines, but they ain't equal signs. We seem to thrive in these cycles of schisms. Black, white, left, right, kneel, stand, woman, man, rich, poor, peace, war, love, hate, gay, straight, free, chained, celebrated, shamed, us, them, me, you, we hardly ever work together anymore. Our love grown cold like relationships of old with their memories told by a woman scorned. Daily I mourn the death of humanity until there's tragedy. Only then is there resuscitation to restore us to this dysrhythmic palpitation of short-lived benevolence and social media activism where we click to love and love our clicks, liking and loving the comments of those who share our common interests and quick to unfriend anybody who is different. Yes, we are wells of contradiction, despising injustice yet spewing discord and hatred. Yes, we lay bricks that form walls that make us feel safe and separate and better and insulated from the undesired and unwelcome to keep out and hold in. We now live behind these invisible partitions, but they are as real as our existence, like the wind, unseen though felt. But ain't nothing cool about that breeze that scatters us to these cul-de-sacs of same, where we enter and exit one way, this annexation of ideology and the rejection of diversity. If it is challenging daily, we build fortresses to enclose our hearts. But I beg of you people, let down your guard and feel the pulsating of humanity. No more laying bricks that form walls that make us feel safe and separate and better and insulated from the undesired and unwelcome, keeping out and holding in. No more laying bricks that form walls. Only lay those bricks that build bridges, that connect us all.
So in 30 to 60 years, we could see nations completely wiped off the map because of sea level rise.
Absolutely. They could be completely wiped off the map, and this has tremendous ramifications not only for the survival of this country, but also looking at where are these people going to go.
The United Nations says climate change is real and man-made. It calls for drastic changes by the end of the century.
Unless we take measures now, by the end of the century, we have to zero out, not reduce, but eliminate our dependence on oil and coal burning.
As more fresh water melts into ocean water, it can change ocean currents, which then changes the climate, which affects wildlife and, of course, humans.
We can do something about it. We can eliminate the causes of it.
Our end was imminent, yet finality relented. When water and fire gently revived, you and I reconciled. The blues, gone green, your care and concern in exchange for my fruit and replenishing this picturesque restoring of painted skies, mountains rolling, forest covering, no more warming, the purity and simplicity of how we used to be. You remember me? All I give to humanity, housing land, seas, birds, beast, and all of mankind exclusively, the interface where you and the elements meet and vibrate harmoniously, the rhythmic flow, fluid and graceful waves of serenity, smooth streams of purity, rains replenishing rapidly. Rivers of dreams, raging springs, covering earth in abundance, universal solvent, dissolving, drink, liquid, life, and power. Water. Unseen traveler forever passing, carrying life, moving, awning of earth felt and heard, strong and stirring, blowing. Breathe you in, cleansing wind, gentle and still, quieting the source, eternally here, ascent and descending, air. Born when the universe was formed, warmed mankind, gave him light. Colored rays illuminate, ember flickers, incandescent, powerful and brilliant. Sacred son of air, father of energy, heat dancing vigorously between perfection and beauty, unconfined agility, past and fancy. Sparks of ingenuity rise. Fire. My beauty altered, muddied waters, fill stripped bare, interiors scarred beyond repair, our memories eroding. You once obsessed over my frame and how I came to be, my nature and its polarity, how my sweet winds whisper gently, yet assault seas. You remember me? All I give to humanity, housing land, trees, birds, beast, and all of mankind, exclusively the interface where you and the elements meet and vibrate harmoniously. Balancing the universe and birthing the essence of majestic, whether silently emanating or potently expressing. Many are the hats that she wears and burdens she bears and heals or sneaks, balancing the weight of the world on her back and still soaring. the expanse of her reach touching heaven as though she had wings. She wore her wounds as beautiful garments, her brokenness in 50 shades of awesome, elegant ensembles of imperfect. She made flawed look flawless. Joy, her cosmetic, love, her robe and turban, dignity as jewels. Simply a woman, but never simple. Complex by design, filling with her heart, touching with her mind, divine femininity, her eyes filled with fire, her soul transmitting energy. She makes power look invincibly poised, her worth and work more precious than gold. A woman.
If I think of my life as a class and what I've really learned, I've learned a few things. First, I'm aware that I'm a child of God.
I could do anything better than
Child of God.
Girls like you inspire me.
I could do anything better than
Inspire me. And I'm here because when I look out at all of these young women, I see myself. See myself. See myself.
I could do anything better than I could do anything better than
Made me. Child of God. If a human being dares to be bigger than the condition into which she or he was born, it means so can you. So can you. Legacy.
I could do anything better than
When I look out at all of these young women, I see myself.
I am grateful to have been loved and to be loved now and to be able to love because that liberates. Love liberates.
I could do anything better than
Girls like you inspire me.
Love liberates.
Impress me every single day.
Love liberates.
Influence. Girls like you impress me every single day.
Love liberates. Love liberates.
Girls like you inspire me.
I intend to use my energies constructively as opposed to destructively. If you can do that about the negative, just think what you can do about the positive.
These unspoken narratives comparative to masterpieces, imagination portrayed with the meaning conveyed in the movement. My body speaks truths that words cannot explain. See what I'm saying. Multiplied my 2 steps by eternity. The product was God in me, transitioning my work from mere duplication to original artistry. See what I'm saying. We honed our crafts through broken paths that created a culture. Our expressions seasoned with struggle gave our pieces color. See what I'm saying. Images painted with every pop and wave, imprinted strokes of social change. I am a visual artist, rhythm scholar, wordless author, departure from the monotonous, commodified art. See what I'm saying. Crossing color lines, economic statuses, social and geographical divides, empowered to impact lives, sharing with humanity the gift given to me, universally accepted. The movement transcends dance. I am an activist, urban creative, no additives or preservatives, raw and authentic, filled with substance. See what I'm saying.
I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Be water, my friend. You know what I want to think of myself? As a human being. As a human being.
What happened is that some of our philosophers got off base. And one of the great problems of history is that the concepts of love and power have usually been contrasted as opposites. Genuine.
hope,
love,
genuine
love,
peace for all men and women. Peace for all men and women. Peace for all.
Love is identified with a resignation of power.
Listen, wounds, they turn to scars. And though those scars be unsightly marks, they tell stories of healing. They're treated with doses of days, hours, and minutes. Yes, time heals wounds, but love does too. And that's the hope for humanity, that in time, if loved and loving well, that the hate would cease, and this idea would be more than just some lofty dream. Yes, the solution, it seems fantastical and elusive, but the truth is, where there is hate in any form, unconditional love, that's the cure. Hearts and hands unarmed, minds on one accord, all of us deeply committed to the needs of one another. It is this force that pushes mankind forward. Power to the people.
Genuine
Love,
peace,
love,
hope,
love,
genuine
love,
peace for all men and women. Peace for all men and women. Peace for all.
I believe we can keep the promise of our founder. The idea that if you're willing to work hard, it doesn't matter who you are, or where you come from, or what you look like, or where you love. It doesn't matter whether you're black or white, or Hispanic or Asian,